In the heart of Harmony Springs, amidst the whispers of the rustling trees and the warm greetings of neighbours, lived Margaret Thompson, the most elegant woman in town. Her grace and poise were unmatched, making her a symbol of beauty and kindness. Widowed for over a decade, Margaret's daily routine included leisurely walks to the local grocery store, where she shared smiles and small talk with everyone she met. But Margaret's story began long before her walks became a routine. In her youth, she was the belle of Harmony Springs, turning heads with her beauty and capturing hearts with her kindness. It was during one of those town's festive events that she caught the eye of the most handsome man in town, Simon Thompson. Simon, a charismatic and successful businessman, was drawn to Margaret's charm. Their love story unfolded like a fairy tale, filled with laughter, shared dreams, and the promise of a lifetime together. One day, as Margaret strolled through the town square, Simon approached her with a twinkle in his eye.
"Margaret, would you do me the honour of being my wife?" he asked, a small velvet box in his hand.
Margaret's eyes sparkled with joy as she exclaimed, "Oh, Simon, yes, 1,000 times yes!" The town rejoiced at the news of their union, and the wedding became the talk of Harmony Springs. As husband and wife, Simon and Margaret embarked on a journey filled with love and partnership. Simon, a successful entrepreneur, owned the local hardware store, while Margaret used her creative talents to turn it into a welcoming place, adorned with flowers and a warm ambiance. Their days were filled with shared smiles, laughter, and the hustle and bustle of running a small business. Simon often teased Margaret, saying,
"You've turned my hardware store into a haven of charm. I wouldn't have it any other way."
Margaret would respond with a playful wink. "Well, you keep the tools in order, and I'll add the touch of elegance." Amid their business endeavours, Simon and Margaret welcomed a son, Robert, and a daughter, Emily, into their lives. The family flourished, and the Thompson household became a haven of love and warmth. As the years passed, Margaret's routine walks to the grocery store became a cherished part of her daily life. Simon, still deeply in love with his wife, would often join her, hand in hand, reminiscing about the early days of their courtship. One sunny afternoon, as they strolled together, Simon whispered,
"Margaret, you are more beautiful now than the day we met."
Margaret blushed, her eyes filled with love. "And you, Simon, are the reason for the beauty in my life." Their routine was a testament to the enduring love that had blossomed in Harmony Springs. The town, watching their love story unfold, admired the couple who had become an inseparable part of the community. Simon and Margaret, now grandparents, continued to inspire the next generation with their enduring love. The hardware store passed down to their son Robert, who thrived under his guidance. One evening, as the family gathered for a celebration, Margaret reflected on the years gone by. "Our love story is our greatest legacy," she remarked, her eyes filled with gratitude. Simon, still as charming as ever, took Margaret's hand.
"And it all started with a walk in this beautiful town."
As they exchanged stories and laughter, the Thompson family became a living testament to the power of love and community. Harmony Springs, a witness to their journey, continued to thrive as a town where everyone knew each other's name, a town built on the foundation of a love story that had stood the test of time. Margaret continued her routine walks through Harmony Springs, but as the years passed, her steps became slower, and her once vibrant spirit began to wane. The whispers of the rustling trees carried a bittersweet melody, a reminder of the love that once filled her heart. One morning, as Margaret prepared for her daily stroll, she noticed Simon sitting in his favourite chair, looking unusually tired. Concern etched across her face. She approached him, asking,
"Simon, dear, are you feeling all right?"
Simon managed a weak smile.
"Oh, just a bit tired, Margaret. Must be the years catching up with me."
As days turned into weeks, Simon's health continued to decline. Margaret, with unwavering devotion, transformed into his primary caretaker. She moved with grace and kindness, just as she had throughout their entire life together. The town, witnessing this display of enduring love, rallied around the Thompsons, offering support and comfort. One evening, as the sun dipped down below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the town, Simon spoke with a gentleness mirroring his fading strength.
"Margaret, my love, you've made every moment of my life beautiful. I am grateful for the love we've shared."
Tears welled up in Margaret's eyes as she held his hand.
"And I am grateful for every moment, Simon. We've had a lifetime of love."
Days turned into months, and Margaret cared for Simon with unwavering dedication. Their children, Robert and Emily, along with their grandchildren, took turns visiting, providing solace and companionship. The Thompson home, once filled with laughter and the hustle and bustle of family life, now echoed with the hushed tones of love and shared memories. One fateful day, as the sun painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, Simon took his last breath in Margaret's arms. The room, once filled with the sounds of their love, fell into a haunting silence. Margaret clung to Simon's lifeless form, her heart shattered into a million pieces. The news of Simon's passing reverberated through Harmony Springs. The entire town mourned the loss of a beloved figure. Now under Robert's capable hands, the hardware store closed for a day of remembrance. The community came together to celebrate Simon's life with a grand funeral, a testament to his impact on Harmony Springs. Amidst the sea of mourners, Margaret stood strong, her face a mask of grief. She greeted well-wishers with a nod, appreciating the support but feeling the weight of her solitude. The familiar faces of neighbours, friends, and family surrounded her, yet the absence of Simon's physical presence left an indelible void. Days turned into weeks, and Margaret, now living alone, found solace in routine. She continued her walks, her steps heavier with the burden of loss. The grocery store, once a place of shared smiles and small talk, became a quiet refuge where memories of Simon lingered. As Margaret selected fresh produce one afternoon, a familiar face approached her. It was Betty, a longtime friend from Harmony Springs.
"Margaret, dear, how are you holding up?"
Betty asked, concern etched on her face. Margaret forced a smile.
"One day at a time, Betty. Simon's memory keeps me going."
Betty took Margaret's hand.
"You know we're here for you, right? Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything."
As the seasons changed, so did Margaret. The once vibrant woman began to show the wear and tear of time. Yet in the depths of her grief, she found strength in the memories of a love that had endured for decades. Sitting alone in her cosy living room one evening, Margaret spoke to a framed photo of Simon.
"You're still with me, Simon. In every step I take, in every sunset I witness, you're there."
As the years passed, Margaret's routine became a lifeline. She walked the familiar paths of Harmony Springs, the memories of her life with Simon guiding each step. The town, though changed, remained a supportive backdrop to her journey. On one of her walks, Margaret encountered a young couple, holding hands and sharing laughter. The sight brought a wistful smile, a reminder of the enduring love she and Simon had once embodied. As Margaret reached the grocery store, she overheard snippets of conversation among townsfolk. "That's Margaret Thompson. She and Simon had the most beautiful love story." The recognition brought a mixture of nostalgia and pride to Margaret's heart. As the seasons passed, Margaret's routine became a cherished tradition in Harmony Springs. The town, in turn, became a testament to the enduring power of community and shared history. Margaret's children and grandchildren scattered across the country continued to visit, bringing with them the echoes of Simon's legacy. Each gathering became a celebration of family, love, and the indomitable spirit of Margaret Thompson. Margaret cherished her routine walks to the local grocery store. On one fateful afternoon, as she approached the cashier, young and empathetic Jennifer Adams, little did she know that her life was about to take an unexpected turn. Margaret carefully placed her groceries on the counter, her weathered hands clutching her wallet. People were waiting at the back, and she could sense the impatience in the air. She pulled out her card with a smile and tried to ring it. But unfortunately, all her cards were maxed out. Embarrassed, she looked up at Jennifer with a weak smile, prepared to leave her groceries behind. Jennifer, sensing Margaret's distress, spoke up. "Oh, don't worry, ma'am, I've got this one," she said, swiping her card to cover the cost. Margaret hesitated. "Oh, no, dear, I couldn't possibly." Jennifer interrupted with a warm smile. "It's my pleasure. Consider it a small token of appreciation for all the stories and wisdom you share with me during your visits." Margaret was both surprised and grateful. With a tearful smile, she thanked Jennifer before leaving the store. As she walked home, Margaret couldn't shake off the encounter. It reminded her of the kindness she and Simon had experienced when they were young and starting together. The ripple effect of love and compassion had reached her once again. Jennifer Adams, born and raised in the same close-knit town of Harmony Springs, had a story etched with hardship and resilience. Growing up in a trailer park on the outskirts of town, Jennifer's life took a challenging turn at a tender age. Her father had abandoned the family when she was just 3 years old, leaving her mother to grapple with the responsibilities of raising Jennifer and her younger brother, Jake. Jennifer's mother, grappling with her battles, succumbed to the allure of addiction, leaving young Jennifer and her brother Jake to fend for themselves. As the weight of adult responsibilities pressed upon her small shoulders, Jennifer found herself assuming the role of caretaker and provider, navigating the tumultuous waters of adolescence with a resilience that belied her tender age. Her mother's erratic behaviour and the constant struggle for survival in the trailer park cast a shadow over Jennifer's childhood. Yet, amid the chaos, she clung to a spirit untainted by bitterness. The echoes of kindness that resonated through Harmony Springs became the cornerstone of her character, a beacon of hope in the face of adversity. Jennifer's days were a relentless cycle of part-time jobs and the pursuit of an education. The worn-out kitchen table in their trailer served as both a sanctuary and a battlefield, where Jennifer confronted the harsh realities of life with a determination that belied her youth. The town, with its familiar faces and whispered stories, became a silent witness to Jennifer's journey. The grocery store, where she would later find solace in unexpected connections, stood as a backdrop to the chapters of her life that unfolded with each passing day. As a sophomore in high school, Jennifer juggled her academic pursuits with a myriad of part-time jobs to keep the bills paid. Her dreams of a better life fueled her relentless pursuit of education, a path fraught with challenges that she faced head-on. One evening, after finishing her shift at a local diner, Jennifer returned to the trailer, weary but undeterred. The familiar scent of hardship lingered in the air, but a glimmer of determination flickered in her eyes. Her mother, lost in the haze of addiction, offered little more than a vacant gaze. "Mum," Jennifer called out, a mixture of weariness and hope in her voice. Her mother's response was an unintelligible mumble, a stark reminder of the chasm that had widened between them. Undeterred, Jennifer spoke with a conviction that belied her years. "One day, Mum, things will change. You'll see. We'll have a better life." The subsequent years unfolded in a relentless pursuit of that elusive, better life. The trailer park, once a symbol of struggle, became a crucible of resilience. The worn-out floors bore witness to Jennifer's unyielding determination as she navigated the challenges of adolescence with an unwavering spirit. Days turned into weeks, and Jennifer found herself working late nights as a cashier at the local grocery store. The routine brought a sense of stability amidst the chaos of her life. The familiar faces of Harmony Springs, once distant observers, began to take notice of the young woman with a heart that knew no bounds. Margaret was walking home, her heart filled with gratitude for the unexpected kindness shown by Jennifer. As she carried her groceries through the quiet streets of Harmony Springs, the whispers of the rustling trees seemed to carry a different, more uplifting melody. Arriving at her home, a charming old house that had been a witness to decades of love and laughter, Margaret couldn't shake off the warmth that Jennifer's gesture had brought to her day. Margaret's home, nestled in the heart of Harmony Springs, held the quiet elegance of a bygone era. The ageing exterior, adorned with climbing ivy and a well-loved porch swing, whispered tales of decades filled with love and shared memories. The wooden floors, worn by the footsteps of generations, creaked with the weight of time, echoing the resilience of a family that had weathered life's storms. Inside, the living room boasted well-worn but meticulously cared-for furniture, each piece carrying a story of its own. Sunlight streamed through lace curtains, casting a warm glow on family photographs adorning the walls. Snapshots frozen in time, capturing the laughter and joy of days gone by. The air held a comforting scent of nostalgia, a blend of polished wood, aged books, and the lingering aroma of home-cooked meals. 3 days later, she was still thinking about the incident. She picked up the phone and dialed her son Robert's number. After a few rings, he answered, his voice a comforting presence on the other end.
"Hello, Mum. How's your day going?" Robert inquired.
Margaret couldn't help but smile. "Oh, Robert, dear, something wonderful happened, and I wanted to share it with you. Can you come over? It's important." A sense of curiosity laced Robert's response.
"Of course, Mum. I'll be right there."
Within a short while, Robert arrived at Margaret's doorstep. The worn-out welcome mat seemed to echo the sentiment of years gone by as he entered the cosy living room, a place filled with memories of family gatherings and love. Margaret, with a twinkle in her eye, shared the story of Jennifer's act of kindness at the grocery store. As she recounted the events, Robert's expression shifted from curiosity to gratitude.
"I can't believe someone helped you like that, Mum. Oh, it warms my heart,"
Robert exclaimed. Margaret nodded, her eyes reflecting a mixture of appreciation and joy. "It reminded me of the goodness in people, Robert. Amid routine, a simple act of kindness can brighten someone's day." Robert, feeling a surge of pride for the town he had grown up in, replied,
"It's wonderful that someone was there for you, Mum. We should thank her somehow."
Margaret's eyes sparkled with agreement. "That's exactly what I was thinking. I want to invite her to dinner next week. What do you think?" A genuine smile spread across Robert's face.
"That's a fantastic idea, Mum. I'll bet she'd appreciate the gesture. Let's make it a special evening."
Filled with gratitude and a newfound warmth in her heart, Margaret watched as her son, Robert, embraced the idea of thanking Jennifer for her kindness. Robert, sensing his mother's happiness, declared,
"Mum, I'm heading to the grocery store to personally thank Jennifer and invite her for dinner."
Margaret's eyes lit up with joy. "That's wonderful, Robert. She truly deserves our appreciation." As Robert stepped out of Margaret's home, the front door creaked softly, a familiar sound that echoed through the years. He briskly walked towards his car, parked by the curb, the sunlight casting long shadows on the quiet street. Opening the car door, Robert settled into the driver's seat, the familiar scent of the well-maintained interior surrounding him. The engine purred to life as he turned the key, and with a purposeful smile he steered towards the grocery store. Robert patiently waited in line at the grocery store, soaking in the lively atmosphere of the small-town shop. As he glanced around, he couldn't help but notice Jennifer moving gracefully between the aisles, assisting elderly customers and offering a helping hand. His heart swelled with a warmth as he observed her genuine kindness, a stark contrast to the hurried pace often associated with the younger generation. With a thoughtful smile, Robert approached Jennifer's checkout counter, his eyes following her every move as she efficiently rang up products for the town's residents. He marvelled at her ability to bring a touch of warmth and compassion to the mundane task of grocery shopping. When it was finally his turn, Robert greeted Jennifer with a friendly smile.
"Oh, hi there. I'm Robert Thompson, Margaret's son. I wanted to personally thank you for helping my mum at the store a few days ago. It meant a lot to her and me."
Jennifer returned the smile, her eyes reflecting genuine kindness. "Oh, you're Margaret's son! Oh, it's my pleasure to help her, sir. Small acts of kindness can make a big difference, don't you think?" Robert nodded, appreciating her perspective.
"Absolutely. And speaking of kindness, I've got a proposition for you. How about joining us for dinner next week? My mum and I would love to express our gratitude properly."
Jennifer's eyes lit up with surprise and joy. "Dinner? Oh, you don't have to do that. It was just a small gesture, sir." Robert insisted.
"No, we insist. It's the least we can do to thank you for brightening my mum's day. What do you say?"
Jennifer hesitated for a moment, then smiled warmly. "Well, if you're sure it's not too much trouble, I'd be happy to join you for dinner." Robert's face beamed with gratitude.
"Great! It's a plan then. We'll make it a special evening. My mum will be thrilled."
As Jennifer continued to assist other customers, Robert left the grocery store with a sense of contentment. He marvelled at the unexpected connection that had unfolded and felt a renewed hope for the kindness that persisted in the hearts of the younger generation. Driving back to his mum's house, Robert couldn't wait to share the good news. The worn-out welcome mat greeted him once again as he stepped into Margaret's cosy living room.
"Mum, you won't believe what just happened," he exclaimed.
Margaret looked up, her eyes curious. "What is it, Robert? Something exciting, I hope." With a wide smile, Robert recounted the encounter with Jennifer, from her selfless act of kindness to the invitation for dinner. Margaret's eyes sparkled with delight, and she clasped her hands together. "Oh, Robert, that's wonderful! I'm so glad you invited her. It'll be a special evening indeed," Margaret said, her voice filled with gratitude. The days that followed were filled with anticipation. Margaret and Robert prepared for Jennifer's visit, adding an extra layer of warmth to their already charming home. The evening arrived, and the fragrance of a home-cooked meal wafted through the air as they eagerly awaited Jennifer's arrival. Overwhelmed by the unexpected invitation, Jennifer stood in front of her small closet, contemplating her wardrobe. Most of her dresses were worn out, but hidden in the corner she discovered a cute black maxi dress. With a satisfied smile, she decided it was perfect for the occasion. She took a quick shower, letting the warm water wash away the weariness of the day. Glancing at the mirror, she whispered words of encouragement to herself. "You've got this, Jennifer. It's just a dinner. Enjoy the moment." In the adjacent room, her younger brother Jake looked up from his textbooks. "Where are you going, Jen?" he asked, his eyes reflecting curiosity. Jennifer smiled, a rare moment of lightness in her usually serious demeanour. "I've been invited to dinner by a wonderful family in town. It's a special occasion." Jake grinned. "Oh, that's great, Jen. You deserve a break. Have fun." As she stepped out of the house, the cool evening breeze played with her hair. Jennifer made her way toward Margaret's home, the anticipation building with every step. The town bathed in the soft glow of twilight seemed to embrace her with a comforting familiarity. Meanwhile, Margaret was bustling around her kitchen, a concoction of delightful aromas wafting through the air. She exchanged playful banter with Robert's wife, who was setting the table with care. Robert's children, eager to meet the guest of honour, hovered around, their excitement palpable. Margaret, with a twinkle in her eye, said, "I have a feeling tonight is going to be a memorable one. I'm so glad we're doing this." Robert, busy with the preparations, agreed.
"Mum, Jennifer's act of kindness touched us. It's only right that we express our gratitude."
The doorbell rang, interrupting their conversation. Margaret hurried to answer it, and there stood Jennifer, a mix of nerves and excitement on her face. Margaret welcomed her with a warm embrace. "Jennifer, dear, we're so happy you could make it. Come on in." As Jennifer entered, the lively chatter of Robert's children filled the air. Margaret led her to the dining room, where a table adorned with a feast awaited. The aroma of Margaret's signature apple pie lingered, evoking memories of a special occasion. Over dinner, laughter and stories flowed freely. Jennifer, initially reserved, found herself drawn into the warmth of the Thompson family. Robert's wife, with a genuine smile, shared tales of their family traditions and adventures. Amidst the clinking of utensils and the laughter of children, Margaret looked at Jennifer and said, "You know, Jennifer, tonight is not just about thanking you, it's about celebrating the kindness that connects us all." Touched by the sentiment, Jennifer replied, "I'm truly honoured to be here. Your family has made me feel like I belong." After the last bite of Margaret's delicious apple pie had been savoured, Jennifer couldn't help but express her delight. "Oh my goodness, Margaret, that was the best apple pie I've ever had." "You have to share the recipe with me sometime," Jennifer exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with genuine appreciation. Margaret beamed with pride, her face reflecting the joy of sharing a beloved family recipe. "I'm glad you enjoyed it, dear. The secret is in using a mix of tart and sweet apples, a dash of cinnamon, and lots of love. I only make it on special occasions, and tonight is one of those." Robert chimed in, his mouth full of pie.
Mum's apple pie is legendary in our family. We always look forward to it during celebrations. It's a tradition."
Jennifer nodded, taking another bite. "Well, it's truly amazing. Thank you for this wonderful treat. I never thought I'd experience something like this." As they continued enjoying the meal, Robert interjected,
"Oh, speaking of traditions, Jennifer, we'd love to know more about you. What do your parents do? How did you end up here in Harmony Springs?"
Jennifer's demeanour shifted slightly, a mix of hesitation and vulnerability crossing her face. Margaret, sensing the shift, quickly added, "Oh dear, forgive us if we've asked something uncomfortable. You don't have to share if you don't want to." Jennifer, taking a deep breath, decided to open up. "No, it's okay. It's just that my family history has been a bit rough. My father left us when I was 3, and my mother struggled with some personal issues. So it's mostly been my brother, Jake, and me fending for ourselves." Margaret's eyes widened with empathy, and Robert's expression shifted to concern. Jennifer continued, "I've been working part-time jobs since I was in high school to make ends meet and to support Jake. Hasn't been easy. But we tried to find happiness in little things." Margaret reached out, placing a comforting hand on Jennifer's. "My dear, I'm so sorry to hear that you face such challenges. Your kindness today speaks volumes about your character. How do you manage to stay so kind through it all?" Jennifer smiled gratefully. "Well, when Jake and I were younger, people were mean to us because of our family situation. Made me realise the importance of showing love and kindness, especially to those who need it the most. I don't want to be like those who judged us." Robert's eyes glistened with admiration.
"Jennifer, you're truly remarkable. I can't imagine how tough it must have been for you. Your kindness today is a testament to your strength."
As the conversation continued, the Thompson family learned more about Jennifer's resilience and determination. They were moved by her story and inspired by the way she had chosen to face life's challenges with grace. The dinner wrapped up with heartfelt goodbyes, and as Jennifer walked back towards her home, the weight on her shoulders felt a little lighter. The Thompson family had not only thanked her for a simple act of kindness, but had also embraced her with open hearts. Back at Margaret's house, the family sat in thoughtful silence for a moment before Margaret spoke.
Robert, I had no idea Jennifer had been through so much. She's an incredible young woman.
Robert nodded, his admiration evident.
Absolutely, Mum. It's amazing how she's managed to stay so kind despite everything. Oh, we should find ways to help her and Jake.
Margaret added.
Yes, we should. They've been through a lot, and yet Jennifer radiates such positivity. We're fortunate to have her in our lives.
With heartfelt goodbyes, Jennifer left Margaret's home, carrying the warmth of newfound friendship. The moonlit streets of Harmony Springs seemed to glow with an extra radiance, a reflection of the connection that had blossomed in the heart of the small town. As Jennifer walked back, the whispers of the rustling trees seemed to echo the sentiments of the evening. She thought of her humble beginnings, the challenges she faced, and the unexpected turn of events that led her to this moment. Back at her house, Jake looked up from his studies as Jennifer entered.
"How was it, Jen?"
he asked, a curious smile on his face. Jennifer sighed contentedly.
"It was amazing, Jake.
I never expected such warmth and kindness. Tonight I felt like I belonged." The echoes of laughter and shared stories lingered in Jennifer's heart as she prepared for bed. The events of the evening had left an indelible mark, a reminder that sometimes, amidst routine and hardship, unexpected connections could blossom. In her cosy room, surrounded by the quiet embrace of Harmony Springs, Jennifer whispered a heartfelt thank you to the universe. As she closed her eyes, the town's gentle melody, carried by the rustling trees, lulled her into a peaceful sleep, leaving her with dreams of enduring friendships and the promise of brighter tomorrows. Jennifer's heart fluttered with excitement as she made her way to Margaret's home for the small gathering. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Harmony Springs. She couldn't help but feel grateful for the unexpected turn of events that had brought her closer to the Thompson family. As she approached Margaret's charming house, Jennifer marvelled at the quaint beauty of the neighbourhood. The familiar rustling trees whispered words of encouragement, as if nature itself was celebrating the connection that had blossomed amongst its inhabitants. Inside Margaret's home, preparations were in full swing. The aroma of delicious homemade dishes filled the air, and the sound of laughter echoed through the cosy living room. Robert and his wife were arranging flowers on the dining table. Earlier that day, as Robert went about his daily routine, the image of Jennifer lingered in his mind. The strength and resilience she had shown in the face of adversity tugged at his heart. He couldn't shake off the sadness he felt for her difficult circumstances. Sitting in his office at the hardware store, surrounded by familiar tools and supplies, Robert found himself deep in thought. He pondered on ways he could offer support to Jennifer and her brother Jake. The weight of responsibility settled on his shoulders, and he felt a newfound determination to make a difference in their lives. Unable to concentrate on his work, Robert decided to call Jennifer and invite her to the gathering at his mother's home. He dialed her number, his heart racing with a mix of anticipation and concern.
Hello, Jennifer. It's Robert Thompson. I hope I'm not disturbing you, he greeted, his voice carrying genuine warmth.
Jennifer, surprised but delighted to hear from him, replied, "Oh, hello, Mr. Thompson. No, you're not disturbing me at all. How can I help you?" Robert hesitated for a moment, choosing his words carefully.
I was wondering if you'd like to join us for a small gathering at my mum's house this afternoon. It's just a few close friends and family, and we'd love for you to be there.
Jennifer's heart skipped a beat at the invitation. "Oh, that sounds lovely. I'd be honoured to join you. Thank you so much for inviting me." As the call ended, Jennifer felt a mixture of excitement and gratitude. She quickly got ready, choosing a cute pink dress she had recently purchased from a local shop. The dress, a small splurge for a special occasion, made her feel a sense of joy and anticipation for the evening ahead. Meanwhile, Robert continued with the preparations at Margaret's home, his mind focused on making the gathering memorable for everyone. As Jennifer approached Margaret's home, she couldn't shake off a lingering worry. Earlier in the day, the owner of the place where she lived had come by to ask for the rent. Jennifer, already burdened by medical expenses for her mother, requested some time to arrange the payment. The owner, though agreeing to wait, had been less than understanding. The weight of financial strain weighed heavily on Jennifer's mind as she knocked on Margaret's door. Margaret, welcoming her with a warm embrace, sensed a hint of concern in Jennifer's eyes. "Jennifer, dear, come on in. We're so glad you could make it," Margaret exclaimed, leading her inside. The warm glow of the evening enveloped Harmony Springs as Margaret, Robert and his wife welcomed their guests for the small gathering. Laughter and cheerful conversations filled the air as everyone gathered around the table, sharing stories and enjoying the delicious spread that Margaret had prepared. The dinner was a delightful affair, with the aroma of home-cooked dishes wafting through the air. Jennifer, seated amongst the group, found herself engrossed in conversations with various members of the community. The stories of their lives, the shared laughter and the genuine warmth created an atmosphere of unity and connection. After the dinner, as the guests mingled and shared stories, Robert approached Jennifer with a warm smile.
"Jennifer, can I have a moment? There's something I'd like to discuss with you."
Jennifer, feeling a mix of curiosity and excitement, nodded and followed Robert to a quieter corner of the room. As they settled into a cosy corner, Robert spoke with a genuine concern in his eyes.
"Jennifer, I've been thinking a lot about you and your situation. Your resilience and kindness have left a lasting impression on me," he began.
Jennifer, feeling a bit overwhelmed, responded, "Thank you, Robert. I appreciate your kind words. Tonight's been wonderful. I'm truly grateful for your invitation." Robert took a deep breath before continuing.
"Jennifer, I've been wanting to start a community project here in Harmony Springs. A centre for the elderly. A place where they can gather, share stories and receive support. Your kindness has inspired me, and I believe your involvement could make a significant difference."
Jennifer's eyes widened with surprise and gratitude. "Oh, Robert, that sounds amazing. I'd be honoured to be a part of it, but how can I contribute? I don't have much to offer." Robert placed a reassuring hand on Jennifer's shoulder.
"Jennifer, your heart and compassion are more valuable than anything else. Your experience and understanding of hardship can bring a unique perspective to the project. I believe you can make a real impact on the lives of those who need it."
Jennifer felt a mix of emotions. Gratitude, excitement, and a tinge of disbelief. I never thought someone like me could be part of such a project. But if it means helping others and spreading kindness, I'm all in. As they continued their conversation, Margaret approached, sensing the seriousness of their discussion. "Everything all right, you two?" Robert nodded, his excitement evident.
"Yes, Mum, I was just sharing my idea with Jennifer about the community project, and she's on board. I think together we can make a real difference."
Margaret beamed with pride. "Oh, that's wonderful, Robert. I've always believed in the power of community. Jennifer, dear, you have a heart of gold, and I'm so glad you'll be a part of this endeavour." Jennifer, overwhelmed with gratitude, expressed her eagerness to contribute. "Thank you both for believing in me. I'm excited to be a part of something that brings people together and spreads kindness." The rest of the evening unfolded with a renewed sense of purpose. The guests, unaware of the conversation that had taken place, continued to enjoy the gathering. Laughter echoed through the cosy home, and the shared stories created bonds that transcended the boundaries of age and background. As the night drew to a close, Robert and Jennifer found themselves deep in conversation, brainstorming ideas for the community project. Margaret, observing their enthusiasm, felt a sense of fulfillment. The small gathering had not only brought joy and camaraderie, but had also sparked the seeds of a meaningful initiative. In the following days, Robert, Jennifer, and Margaret worked tirelessly to bring their vision to life. They gathered support from the community, reached out to local businesses for sponsorship, and started planning the details of the Centre for the Elderly. Jennifer's commitment and passion became a driving force, inspiring others to join their cause. The centre, named Harmony Haven, became a reality, a space where the elderly could engage in activities, share experiences, and form connections. The community rallied behind the project, volunteering their time and resources to ensure its success. The opening day of Harmony Haven arrived, and the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The small town of Harmony Springs turned out in full support, eager to witness the impact of the community project. Margaret, Robert, and Jennifer stood at the entrance, welcoming the first visitors with smiles and excitement. As the elderly residents entered the centre, their faces lit up with joy. The cosy interior, adorned with photographs and comfortable seating, radiated a sense of belonging. Activities such as storytelling sessions, arts and crafts, and music filled the space with laughter and camaraderie. Robert, proud of what they had accomplished, couldn't help but marvel at the positive energy in the room. He approached Jennifer, who was engaged in conversation with an elderly woman named Mrs. Anderson.
"Jennifer, look at what we've created! Harmony Haven is already making a difference," Robert exclaimed, his eyes reflecting a mix of pride and gratitude.
Jennifer smiled, her heart full.
"It's incredible, Robert. I'm so grateful to be a part of this journey. Seeing the smiles on their faces, it's priceless."
Her dedication to the Harmony Springs Elderly Support Centre became the driving force of positive change in the small town. Balancing high school studies with her commitment to the community project, she found herself immersed in a world where compassion and connection prevailed. One afternoon, as Jennifer was organising a fundraising event for Harmony Haven, she sat down with Margaret and Robert to discuss the upcoming plans. Margaret, sipping on a cup of tea, looked at Jennifer with admiration.
"You've done wonders, dear. The support for Harmony Haven is overwhelming. The entire town is rallying behind the project."
Jennifer smiled, grateful for the community's response. "It's amazing to see how people come together for a cause. The story we've heard from the elderly residents have touched everyone's hearts."
Robert chimed in, "And your dedication has inspired others to get involved. We're making a real impact, thanks to you, Jennifer."
As the day of the fundraising event arrived, the town square buzzed with excitement. Booths showcasing handmade crafts, baked goods, and local arts lined the area. The Harmony Springs community turned out in full force, eager to contribute to the success of Harmony Haven. Jennifer, accompanied by Robert and Margaret, moved through the lively crowd, engaging with residents and vendors alike. The atmosphere was filled with laughter and joy, a testament to the unity that the community project had fostered. A familiar face approached. Mrs. Anderson, one of the elderly residents who had been among the first visitors to Harmony Haven. Her eyes twinkled with enthusiasm as she spoke to Jennifer.
"Jennifer, dear, this project has brought so much happiness to our lives. I never thought I'd see the day when our stories would be heard and valued. Thank you for making it happen."
Jennifer hugged Mrs. Anderson warmly. "It's my pleasure, Mrs. Anderson. Your stories and experiences deserve to be celebrated. Harmony Haven is just the beginning." The success of the fundraising event surpassed expectations, with the community coming together to contribute not just financially, but also with their time and talents. The funds raised would ensure the sustained operation of Harmony Haven and the expansion of its programs. In the following weeks, Jennifer found herself immersed in various aspects of the community project. She organised storytelling sessions, art classes, and music performances at Harmony Haven. The once silent walls now echoed with laughter, song, and the camaraderie of newfound friendships. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Harmony Haven, Jennifer sat with a group of elderly residents engrossed in their tales of youth and wisdom. Mr. Johnson, a wise and gentle soul, shared his experiences of serving in the military during his younger days. Jennifer listened intently, hanging on to every word.
Jennifer, my dear, the stories we tell are like threads that weave the fabric of our lives. Your project has given us a platform to share, connect, and feel valued. You've brought life to our years.
Mr. Johnson expressed, his eyes reflecting gratitude. Jennifer, touched by his words, replied, Mr. Johnson, it's an honour to be a part of this journey with all of you. Your stories inspire and enrich the entire community. Summer break arrived, bringing with it a new chapter in Jennifer's life. She continued her dedicated work in the community, organising events and activities at Harmony Haven. Robert, watching her efforts unfold, couldn't help but feel a profound sense of pride for the positive impact she was making. One sunny afternoon, as they were setting up for a community picnic, Robert approached Jennifer with a proud smile.
Jennifer, you've done incredible things for Harmony Springs. Your commitment is inspiring. I believe your passion deserves even more recognition.
Jennifer, a bit taken aback, replied, Oh, Robert, I'm just doing what feels right. Community has given me so much, I want to give back. Robert nodded.
And you have, but I think it's time you receive something in return. Your high school graduation is around the corner, and I've arranged a special surprise for you. I believe it's time to celebrate your achievements.
Jennifer, curious and grateful, couldn't help but wonder what the surprise might be. Surprise? What's this all about, Robert? With a mysterious grin, Robert said,
Patience, Jennifer. You'll find out soon enough. It's a small token of appreciation for everything you've done.
As graduation day arrived, Jennifer found herself in a sea of excitement and anticipation. The ceremony was filled with cheers, applause, and the joy of accomplishment. Little did she know that Robert had a surprise waiting for her. After receiving her diploma, Jennifer spotted Robert among the cheering crowd. He gestured for her to join him, and together they stepped aside from the bustling ceremony.
Jennifer, Robert began, his eyes gleaming with pride, your dedication to Harmony Springs has not gone unnoticed. The community, your school, and I appreciate your selflessness. As a recognition of your outstanding contributions, you've been awarded a scholarship to attend the business school.
Jennifer's eyes widened in disbelief. She stammered, A scholarship? For me? But how? Why? Robert chuckled.
Jennifer, you've proven that you have a gift for bringing people together, for making a real difference. The scholarship is just a small step in acknowledging your potential. I believe attending the business school will help you take your passion to new heights.
Jennifer, overwhelmed with emotion, struggled to find words. Tears welled up in her eyes as she whispered, I never thought something like this would happen to me. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for believing in me. Robert gave her a warm embrace.
You've earned it, Jennifer. This is just the beginning of something great, and I can't wait to see where your journey takes you.
As the summer progressed, Jennifer prepared for her next adventure, attending the business school. The scholarship not only opened doors for education, but also ignited a newfound confidence in her abilities. In the midst of packing and planning for this new chapter, Jennifer found herself sitting on the porch of Margaret's house. Margaret, sipping on her favourite tea, observed the mix of excitement and nervousness in Jennifer's eyes.
Jennifer, my dear, the scholarship is well deserved. You have a heart of gold, and your dedication to the community has made a lasting impact,
Margaret said with genuine admiration. Jennifer smiled. Margaret, none of this would have been possible without you and Robert. Your support has been my pillar of strength. Margaret patted her hand reassuringly.
Education is a powerful tool, my dear. Use it wisely. Continue spreading the kindness you've shown us. Remember, the town will always be here for you.
The summer days passed by quickly, and soon it was time for Jennifer to bid farewell to Harmony Springs as she embarked on her journey to the business school. Margaret and Robert accompanied her to the bus stop with Jennifer's brother and her mum, their faces reflecting both pride and sadness. As the bus pulled away, Margaret whispered to Robert,
"She's like a daughter to me, Robert. I have a feeling she'll do remarkable things."
Robert nodded.
"I believe so too, Mum. Jennifer has a way of turning challenges into opportunities. The business school is just the beginning."
Meanwhile, back in Harmony Springs, life continued its steady rhythm. Jennifer's absence was felt, but the town remained a tight-knit community, supportive and resilient. At the business school, Jennifer dove into her studies with determination and enthusiasm. The classes were challenging, but her experiences in Harmony Springs had prepared her for the real-world application of business principles. Her passion for community building and her gift for connecting with people set her apart. During breaks between classes, Jennifer would often find herself talking to her family over the phone. Her younger brother Jake was thriving, and her mother expressed her pride in Jennifer's accomplishments. The phone calls became a source of strength, a reminder of why she was pursuing this path. As the school year progressed, Jennifer's achievements in community projects and her dedication to making a positive impact did not go unnoticed. She became a respected figure among her peers, someone who not only excelled academically but also had a genuine passion for creating change. One day, after a particularly inspiring lecture on social entrepreneurship, Jennifer found herself reflecting on her journey. Sitting in the campus garden, she spoke to herself. "I never imagined I'd be studying here. Studying business and making a difference. Harmony Springs has shaped me. I want to carry that spirit forward." The news of Jennifer's achievements reached Robert, who couldn't have been prouder. He thought about the promise he had made to Jennifer and the potential she had shown even in the smallest acts of kindness. During a weekend visit, Robert took Jennifer out for lunch. As they enjoyed their meal, he couldn't help but express his admiration.
"Jennifer, you've come so far, and your impact is extending beyond Harmony Springs. I have an idea that might interest you."
Intrigued, Jennifer looked at him.
"What's the idea, Robert?"
He smiled.
"How about starting a program that connects students with local communities for social entrepreneurship projects? Your experience can inspire others to make a difference while pursuing their education."
Jennifer's eyes lit up with excitement.
"That's a fantastic idea, Robert. I'd love to create something that bridges the gap between education and community development."
They spent the afternoon brainstorming ideas, outlining plans, and discussing the potential impact of such a program. By the end of the day, Jennifer was already drafting a proposal to present to the business school. As the proposal gained traction, Jennifer found herself leading a new initiative, a program that encouraged students to apply their business skills to address social challenges. The program, named Connect Impact, became a bridge between academic learning and real-world application. During her busy schedule, Jennifer made time to return to Harmony Springs during breaks. Her visits were not only a source of joy for her, but also a boost for the town that saw her success as a collective achievement. One summer day, she sat on Margaret's porch, looking out at the familial surroundings. Margaret, sipping on her tea, remarked,
"You're doing remarkable things, my dear. Harmony Springs is proud to call you one of its own."
Jennifer, grateful for the support that had shaped her journey, replied, "It all started here, Margaret. This town taught me the true meaning of community. I want to share that with the world." As the years passed, Jennifer's impact continued to grow. Connect Impact expanded to other universities, creating a network of students dedicated to making a positive difference. Jennifer became a sought-after speaker, sharing her experiences and inspiring others to use their skills for social good. One day, as she stood on stage addressing a room full of aspiring entrepreneurs, Jennifer thought back to the small town that had shaped her. She spoke about Harmony Springs, the place where kindness and community had set her on her path of purpose. She shared her journey and the pivotal role played by two individuals, Margaret and Robert. "Good evening, everyone," Jennifer began with a warm smile, capturing the attention of the eager audience. I stand before you today not just as a speaker or an entrepreneur, but as someone whose life has been profoundly shaped by kindness and unwavering support. The crowd leaned in, curious to hear her story. Let me take you back to the beginning, to a small town called Harmony Springs, Jennifer continued, painting a vivid picture of the close-knit community that had been her foundation. In the midst of simplicity, I learnt the most valuable lessons, the power of community, the strength in kindness, and the impact of connecting with others. She paused, allowing the audience to absorb her words. Two individuals stand out in this story. Margaret and Robert. They were my mentors, my guides, and the rays of light illuminating my path in the darkest of tunnels. In the front row, a camera focused on Robert and Margaret, who watched with proud smiles. Jennifer's narrative unfolded, punctuated by heartfelt dialogues that brought her experiences to life. Margaret, Jennifer recalled with a chuckle, used to say, in the quietest acts of kindness, you found the loudest echoes of impact. It became my guiding principle. She taught me that changing the world doesn't always require grand gestures. It can start with a simple conversation, a shared meal, or a genuine smile. The audience chuckled in response, connecting with the simplicity and wisdom of Margaret's words. Robert, Jennifer continued, saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. He believed in the potential of a small-town girl who dreamed of making a difference. When he handed me that scholarship, he opened doors to education and a world of possibilities. As she spoke, scenes from her journey played on the large screen behind her. Moments of community projects, students passionately working on Connect Impact initiatives, and the genuine smiles of families whose lives had been touched. Now I stand before you not as someone who has it all figured out, but as someone who continues to learn daily. Connect Impact is more than a program. It's a movement, fueled by the belief that every individual has the power to create positive change, Jennifer declared passionately. The room was filled with applause, resonating with the shared vision of making a difference. In the midst of the claps, Jennifer raised her hand, indicating she had more to share. But, she continued, none of this would have been possible without the unwavering support of Margaret and Robert. Today, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to these incredible individuals who saw potential in a young girl from a small town. The spotlight shifted to Robert and Margaret, who exchanged glances touched by Jennifer's heartfelt acknowledgement. Margaret, with her wisdom, taught me that empathy and compassion can transform communities. Robert, with his belief, showed me that even the smallest act of support can set someone on a path to greatness. The audience listened intently, captivated by Jennifer's genuine appreciation for the mentors who had shaped her. I want you all to understand that success is not a solo journey. It's a tapestry woven with the threads of mentorship, resilience, and shared dreams, Jennifer emphasized, her eyes scanning the room. She then shared anecdotes of her visit back to Harmony Springs, the place she still called home despite her bustling life as an entrepreneur. The stories resonated with the audience, creating a sense of nostalgia and the importance of staying connected to one's roots. As you embark on your entrepreneurial journey, Jennifer addressed the room, remember the power of community, the impact of kindness, and the significance of connecting with others. And always acknowledge and appreciate those who have been your guiding lights. As she concluded her speech, the room erupted into applause. Jennifer stepped down from the stage to a standing ovation. The camera panned to Robert and Margaret, who embraced each other, overcome with pride and joy. The news of Jennifer's speech reached Harmony Springs, where the community gathered at the local diner to watch the event on television. The familiar faces shared knowing smiles, proud to be a part of Jennifer's story. Back in Harmony Springs, Margaret sat on her porch sipping tea, reflecting on the journey that had led Jennifer to this moment. She's carrying the spirit of Harmony Springs with her, spreading kindness and making a difference. It's a beautiful thing. Margaret whispered to herself. Meanwhile, Robert received messages and calls from friends and well-wishers, all expressing admiration for the impact Jennifer was making on a global scale. He thought about the promise he had made to support Jennifer's dreams, and how it had blossomed into something beyond his imagination. A few weeks later, Jennifer received an invitation to return to Harmony Springs for a special event, a celebration of her achievements and an opportunity for the community to express their gratitude. As she stepped off the plane and into the familiar surroundings of her hometown, she was greeted by the warmth of familiar faces and the embrace of a community that had watched her grow. The event was held in the town square, adorned with banners and decorations celebrating Jennifer's journey. Friends, family, and community members gathered to honour her, expressing their pride and appreciation. Amidst the cheers and applause, Margaret approached Jennifer with a beaming smile. "My dear Jennifer, you've gone beyond anything we could have imagined. Harmony Springs is proud to call you one of its own." Touched by the overwhelming reception, Jennifer took to the stage to address the community. She spoke from the heart, expressing gratitude for the lessons she had learned in Harmony Springs and the unwavering support that had propelled her forward. As the sun set over the small town, casting a warm glow on the gathering, Jennifer realized that she was not just a product of her journey, but also a reflection of the community that had shaped her. Harmony Springs, with its values of kindness, connection, and resilience, had given her the foundation to create a movement that was now making waves around the world. In the midst of the celebration, Robert approached Jennifer, his eyes reflecting the pride and joy that filled his heart. "You've not only kept your promise, Jennifer, but you've also exceeded every expectation. I'm so proud of the person you've become and the impact you're making." Jennifer smiled, grateful for the mentors who had believed in her when she was just a girl with a dream. "Margaret and you, Robert, were my guiding lights. Today, I stand here because of the lessons you've taught me and the support you've provided." As the celebration continued, Jennifer made a promise to herself to always stay connected to her roots, to continue learning from the small town that had given her so much, and to inspire others to follow their dreams. As the years passed, Jennifer continued to make remarkable progress in her life and extend her positive influence in the world. Connect Impact grew into a beacon of change, touching the lives of countless individuals and families. The initiatives she spearheaded reached far and wide, transforming communities and creating growth opportunities. Margaret, always a source of support and happiness, revelled in Jennifer's success. Her eyes sparkled with pride as she witnessed the impact of the projects initiated by Connect Impact. Robert, too, was immensely proud of Jennifer and the legacy that had unfolded from their shared vision. However, as time moved forward, Margaret began to feel the weight of age. One fine evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Harmony Springs, Margaret sat on her porch, reminiscing about the love of her life, Simon. She closed her eyes, and in that peaceful moment her heart slowed down and eventually stilled. Unbeknownst to her, Robert was on his way to visit his mother. When he arrived at the house, he found Margaret lying peacefully on the porch chair. Concerned, he called out to her, but there was no response. Panic gripped his heart as he frantically called for help, summoning both family members and a doctor. The doctor, after a brief examination, delivered the devastating news. Mrs. Margaret Thompson had passed away. The entire family was shattered, unable to comprehend the sudden loss. Robert, overwhelmed with grief, clung to his mother's lifeless form, pleading for her to open her eyes. The news of Margaret's passing spread through Harmony Springs like wildfire, and the town collectively held its breath, struggling to accept the reality of her absence. The small, close-knit community which had thrived on Margaret's kindness and wisdom now faced the sombre task of saying goodbye. The day of Margaret's funeral dawned with a heavy overcast sky, mirroring the emotions that hung in the air. The town square, usually filled with laughter and the vibrant energy of community events, was transformed into a sea of mourners dressed in black. As Jennifer arrived at Margaret's house, she couldn't help but feel a profound sense of loss. The porch where she had shared countless conversations and learned invaluable life lessons now stood as a silent witness to the passing of an era. Inside Margaret's home, the atmosphere was laden with grief. Family members, friends and neighbours gathered, sharing memories of the woman who had touched each of their lives in unique ways. The air was thick with a mix of sorrow and gratitude. Robert, overwhelmed with the weight of his mother's absence, stood by the porch, staring into the distance. Jennifer approached him, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder.
"I can't believe she's gone,"
Robert whispered, his voice breaking. Jennifer nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. "She was a guiding light for so many of us. She stays in all of our hearts." As the mourners assembled in the town square, the funeral procession began its solemn journey. The casket, adorned with flowers and surrounded by flickering candles, was carried by pallbearers who had known and respected Margaret for years. Amidst the quiet sobs and sniffles, a local choir brought together for this poignant occasion started singing hymns that resonated through the town. The melodies, once uplifting, now carried a mournful undertone, capturing the essence of the collective grief. The town square, typically vibrant with life, transformed into a sea of umbrellas shielding mourners from the gentle drizzle. The rain seemed to echo the tears that fell freely from the eyes of those who had lost a beloved figure. As the procession reached the local church, the doors swung open to welcome Margaret one last time. The pews were filled with mourners and the scent of lilies hung in the air. The priest, a familiar face to everyone in Harmony Springs, stood at the pulpit, ready to offer words of solace. In the front row, Jennifer and Robert sat side by side, sharing a quiet moment of reflection. Jennifer could feel the weight of the town's collective sorrow, a testament to the impact Margaret had made. "She always believed in the strength of community," Jennifer said softly. "Look around. Her spirit is in every tear, every shared memory." Robert nodded, his gaze fixed on the casket at the front.
"I just wish she could see how much she meant to everyone."
The priest began the service, recounting Margaret's life with warmth and reverence. He spoke of her kindness, her unwavering support for the community, and the countless lives she had touched. The eulogy, a heartfelt tribute, resonated with the mourners, who found both solace and sorrow in the memories shared. As the priest invited others to share their memories, the church echoed stories that celebrated Margaret's life. Friends spoke of her generosity, neighbours shared anecdotes of her wisdom, and family members recalled cherished moments that would forever remain etched in their hearts. Amidst the testimonials, Jennifer found herself standing at the pulpit, compelled to share her gratitude. "Margaret was more than a mentor to me. She was my guiding star. Her belief in the power of kindness changed my life." Her words resonated through the church, and the quiet sobs of the mourners became a collective acknowledgement of the profound impact Margaret had made. As Jennifer returned to her seat, she caught Robert's gaze, and they exchanged a nod of shared grief and gratitude. The funeral service concluded with a solemn procession to the town cemetery. The rain had intensified, casting a melancholic ambience over the final farewell. As Margaret's casket was gently lowered into the ground, the priest offered a final prayer, and the mourners tossed flowers onto the casket. In the rain-soaked cemetery, Jennifer, Robert, and the rest of the mourners stood in silent tribute to the woman who had shaped their lives. The umbrellas formed a mosaic of colours against the grey sky, symbolising the collective strength of a community grieving together. As the ceremony concluded, Jennifer and Robert lingered by Margaret's graveside, finding solace in the shared silence. Robert placed a small bouquet of daisies, Margaret's favourite flowers, on the freshly turned earth.
"She loved these,"
he said, his voice a mixture of sadness and affection. Jennifer added her flowers to the tribute. She may be gone, but her legacy lives on in each act of kindness we continue to share. Days passed and the ache of Margaret's absence lingered. Jennifer, grappling with the sorrow, found solace in the memories and lessons Margaret had left behind. Determined to honour Margaret's legacy, Jennifer conceived a project under Connect Impact, the Margaret Project. This initiative aimed to provide education to girls worldwide, carrying forward the spirit of kindness and empowerment that Margaret had instilled in her. Jennifer approached Robert, who, despite his grief, saw the potential of the Margaret Project to create a lasting impact. Together they embarked on a mission to educate girls globally, ensuring that Margaret's name would forever be associated with positive change. The Margaret Project gained momentum, touching the lives of young girls who, like Jennifer once did, aspired to break barriers and make a difference. Robert, finding purpose in the project, dedicated himself to its success. He believed that by educating girls, they were not just shaping individual lives, but creating a ripple effect of empowerment and progress. The project resonated with people around the world, and support poured in from various quarters. Schools were built, scholarships were granted, and opportunities were created for girls who might have otherwise been denied an education. Margaret's legacy now lived not only in the memories of Harmony Springs, but in the smiles of the young minds she was empowering through the Margaret Project. Jennifer, amidst her busy schedule, found renewed purpose in this endeavour. She often visited the schools established under the Margaret Project, witnessing firsthand the transformative impact education had on these girls' lives. The sparkle of Margaret's wisdom reflected in the eyes of each student, carrying forward the torch of kindness and empowerment. Back in Harmony Springs, the town slowly healed from the loss of Margaret. Her porch, once a place of reflection for her, now became a symbol of the enduring spirit of community and resilience. The townspeople, inspired by the Margaret Project, came together to support the initiative, ensuring that the legacy of a woman who had touched so many lives continued to thrive. Robert, despite the pain of losing his mother, found comfort in the positive change they were creating in Margaret's name. He became a spokesperson for the project, sharing Margaret's story and encouraging others to contribute to the cause. The small town of Harmony Springs became a hub of support for the Margaret Project, demonstrating the profound impact one person could have on the world. As years passed, the Margaret Project expanded its reach, reaching more corners of the globe and touching the lives of countless girls. Jennifer and Robert, bound by a shared commitment to making a difference, continued to collaborate on new initiatives, ensuring that Margaret's legacy continued to grow and evolve. The news of the Margaret Project reached the farthest corners of the world, and its success became a testament to the enduring power of kindness and education. The legacy of Margaret Thompson, once confined to the memories of a small town, now echoed in the laughter of girls who'd been given the gift of knowledge and opportunity. In a quiet moment of reflection, Jennifer stood at the porch where Margaret had spent her last evening. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow, much like the evening Margaret had closed her eyes for the last time. At that moment, Jennifer felt a profound sense of gratitude for the woman who had been her guiding light. "Thank you, Margaret," Jennifer whispered, her voice carried away by the gentle breeze. "Your legacy lives on in countless lives we've touched through the Margaret Project. You may not be with us physically, but your spirit continues to inspire and uplift." The project became a symbol of resilience, kindness, and the transformative power of education. Jennifer, Robert, and the entire town of Harmony Springs continued to work tirelessly, knowing that they were not just shaping the future of individual girls, but contributing to a global movement of empowerment and positive change. As the years rolled on, the project expanded its scope, evolving to address new challenges and opportunities. Jennifer, in her speeches around the world, often spoke of Margaret's influence on her life and the profound impact of simple acts of kindness. In Harmony Springs, a statue of Margaret was erected in the town square, a constant reminder of the woman whose legacy had transcended the boundaries of a small town and reached the farthest corners of the world. The Margaret Project, now a well-established and respected organisation, continued to receive support from individuals, corporations and governments. Scholarships were awarded, schools were built, and the lives of girls were forever transformed. One day, as Jennifer visited a school under the Margaret Project in a remote village, she saw a group of girls huddled together, laughing and studying. The sight brought tears to her eyes, for she knew that Margaret's spirit lived on in these moments of joy and shared learning. Jennifer stood on the porch, the town below bathed in the warm hues of a setting sun. Robert joined her, and they shared a moment of silence, both lost in their thoughts.
"Mum would be so proud,"
Robert finally spoke,
breaking the quietude. "I never imagined we could make such a difference."
Jennifer nodded, her gaze fixed on the town square. "Your mother's legacy is alive in every corner of Harmony Springs. It's incredible how her kindness set off a chain reaction." As they descended from the porch, they encountered Emily, a local entrepreneur who had benefited from Connect Impact's programs. Her eyes sparkled with gratitude as she spoke. "You know, Mrs. Thompson's kindness inspired me to start my own business. Now I can provide for my family and contribute to the community." Jennifer smiled. "It warms my heart to see the impact. It's a testament to the power of small acts of kindness." In the heart of Harmony Springs, a community meeting was in full swing. Sarah, a teacher and beneficiary of the Margaret Project, addressed the crowd. "I was just a girl with a dream. Now I'm here, shaping young minds. Margaret's spirit lives on in every classroom." The crowd erupted in applause, and Jennifer, standing among them, felt a deep sense of gratitude for the path she had chosen. Days turned into weeks, and the town became a bustling hub of activity. Robert, now a vocal advocate for the Margaret Project, often found himself discussing his mother's legacy with locals. The legacy of Margaret Thompson, carried forward by Jennifer, Robert, and the Margaret Project, became a beacon of hope for future generations. As the sun set over Harmony Springs, casting its warm glow, it illuminated a town that had embraced the power of connection, kindness, and the enduring impact of one woman's extraordinary journey. And so, the story of Margaret, Jennifer, and Robert unfolded, a tale of inspiration and transformation that reminded the world that even the smallest acts of kindness could create a ripple effect, capable of changing lives for generations to come.